Hi, I'm Don Dawson. In today's program, we're going to show you how you can be safer and feel better by blowing the whistle on behavior that has no place in the workplace. When we hear the words bullies and bullying, we often think of a mean kid on a playground pushing the other kids around. But playground bullies grow up even if their behavior doesn't. Today, adults who bully and engage in other forms of disruptive behavior can be found causing trouble in many workplaces. Their actions can disturb us, interfere with our work, threaten us, and even affect our health. Workplace bullying and disruptive behavior are serious concerns, both for employees and the companies they work for. In this program, we'll take a closer look at these activities and discuss practical steps you can take to avoid the problems they cause. Welcome to the workday. In a perfect world, everyone would be cheerful and whistling while they work. But in reality, too many of us may be feeling fear, anger, frustration, humiliation, helplessness. These feelings shouldn't be part of anyone's job description, but they can be common where bullying and other disruptive behavior is a problem. More than 35% of the employees in the U.S. say that they have worked with a bully. That means almost 65 million people have to cope with workplace bullying at some point in their lives. A workplace bully makes repeated, disturbing attacks on someone, usually a coworker, using words and actions to degrade, humiliate, undermine, or intimidate them. We're not talking about somebody simply losing their cool and barking at one of their associates on a bad day. Workplace bullying is ongoing, abusive behavior, a pattern that continues over time. We might tend to think that bosses, managers, or supervisors are most often the bullies because their positions give them power over others. But in fact, employees are just as likely to be bullied by their peers. Bosses and managers can even be bullied by someone below them in their organization. Basically, anyone in and around your organization, man or woman, employee or outsider, could turn out to be a bully. These can include vendors, contractors, labor representatives, even clients and customers. Why do some people bully others? That's a complicated question. Many psychologists think that for some reason bullies are actually afraid of their victims. On the other hand, some bullies seem to simply enjoy getting their own way and pushing their victims around. But what bullies do in the workplace is more important than why they do it. It's pretty easy to identify a bully. They often shout and swear at their victims, verbally abusing them with unfounded blame or criticism. If they are in a supervisory position, a workplace bully may overload their victims with work, deny them the resources they need to get their work done, set impossible deadlines, and then constantly monitor and micromanage them. Sometimes a bully will single out their target by treating them differently and working to exclude them from the rest of the group. Other times, a bully may harass their victim by playing practical jokes on them. This type of abuse masquerades as good-natured kidding, but it's no joke to the target. A bully can also pick on the victim indirectly by criticizing them or spreading rumors behind their back. And bullying in the workplace can include just as much physical intimidation and violence as the schoolyard variety. One study showed that almost 15% of employees had experienced physical attacks such as pushing, shoving, and even fistfights on the job. These are only a few ways that bullies can operate, and the damage they do is not limited to the victim. The effects of workplace bullying can be serious and far-reaching.
No one benefits from workplace bullying, and it adversely affects more people than you'd guess. Studies show that if you're not the one doing the bullying, you've probably either been the victim of a bully or have witnessed someone else being victimized.
Both the victims of bullying and witnesses feel significantly more stress and anxiety on the job than their coworkers. This can cause serious physical health effects, such as high blood pressure, digestive trouble, and ulcers. In fact, for almost 3/4 of bullying victims, these symptoms are severe enough to require treatment by a doctor. Nearly 2/3 of bullying victims also seek professional help for bullying-related conditions, such as low self-esteem, depression, and insomnia. And some studies suggest that the effects on witnesses may be more severe than they are on the victims themselves. With so many employees struggling to cope with bullying in their workplace, we would expect it to affect their companies as well, and it does. Simply put, workplace bullying is bad for business. Bullying poisons the atmosphere in the workplace and undermines the trust workers should feel in the company that employs them. The more energy people spend on coping with bullying, the less they have for their work, so effectiveness and efficiency decline. And as you would guess, bullying also destroys the sense of teamwork that companies try so hard to develop. As worker morale goes down, absenteeism goes up. Job turnover increases, and the company may get a reputation as being a bad place to work. As a result, the company may need to pay to recruit and train replacement employees, while workers' compensation and even legal expenses can rise as well. The bottom line is workplace bullying decreases productivity and increases costs. That's not a recipe for success, and your company knows it. Fortunately, there are ways to shut down bullies in the workplace.
Whether you're the victim of a bully or witness to bullying on the job, you need to know that you are not helpless. There are some practical steps you can take to bring the bullying to an end.
First, you need to remember that there is never an excuse for bullying. It has nothing to do with your job performance. You are not the cause of the problem, and you don't have to take it. You can take the initiative instead. One direct approach is to grab the bully by the horns by talking with them. Try to bring someone else along when you do, so you have an independent witness. You should explain to the bully that you've recognized a disturbing pattern in the way they act towards you. You think it's unprofessional. You want it to stop. Be prepared for the bully to deny what they've been doing. That's the typical response when someone calls a bully on their behavior. This may frustrate and anger you, but don't let your emotions get in the way. Keep your cool and stay professional as you state your case. This is key to resolving the situation successfully. If talking with a bully doesn't put an end to the problem, there are other things you can do too. If a bully begins to bother you or someone you work with, you should look up your company's policies and workplace conduct immediately. The company most likely has policies that can protect you and your coworkers against abuse. These can provide you with solid support for any complaint you have to make against a bully. Documenting the situation is important too, so write things down. Start keeping a diary or log of the bullying. Make note of the dates, places, and times that it happens. Record what was said and done, and who else was present. Don't do this while the bully is there, but be sure to get it while your memory is still fresh. These notes will help support what you say, so it won't just be your word against the bullies. You should also put together a file of any harassing notes, printouts of bullying emails, and copies of documents that contradict anything derogatory that the bully says about you. Gathering this documentation and evidence will get you ready for the next step, which is reporting the bully to the appropriate person. The appropriate person could be your manager or supervisor, but if they happen to be the bully, you may need to go directly to your human resources department. Make your complaint in a professional manner. Your hurt may be personal, but you need to keep your emotions out of the resolution process. Shutting down the bully can and should be strictly business. What happens next will depend on the situation. Usually a manager or HR person will first speak to the bully informally about their behavior. How much more intervention will be required depends on how cooperative the bully is. In extreme cases, their actions could result in disciplinary action or even termination. Whatever happens, it's their responsibility, not yours. And remember, your company's leadership knows that bullying is bad for everyone and damaging to the organization. They're on your side.
While bullying is a serious enough issue on its own, it is actually part of a larger problem in today's workplace called disruptive behavior. Disruptive behavior is anything that disturbs the normal activities of a workplace and interferes with you doing your job.
You know disruptive behavior when you see it or hear it, because it usually involves someone yelling, swearing, and otherwise verbally abusing others, waving their arms or shaking their fists, refusing reasonable requests such as "please calm down" or "please be quiet." You can also recognize disruptive behavior by how it makes you feel. While it's always distracting, disruptive behavior can also make you feel uneasy, frightened, even threatened. As we said before, no one should be made to feel like this in any environment. For this reason alone, disruptive behavior has no place in the workplace. But there's an even more urgent reason why disruptive behavior needs to be addressed. If nothing is done to intervene and shut down disruptive behavior, it typically gets worse until it leads to physical violence.
If you ever feel physically threatened by disruptive behavior, or it crosses the line into violence, you should call your facility's security department or dial 911. But preventing disruptive behavior is better for everyone. To do that, we need to focus on the people who are doing the disrupting.
We can often get a feeling ahead of time about someone's potential for acting out by watching for warning signs in how they act from day to day. Signs of disruptive potential include when someone has poor relationships with customers, co-workers, or supervisors. They complain a lot or seem to have difficulty in controlling their feelings, especially anger. Blaming others for their own life or work problems and verbally abusing co-workers can be indicators as well. Other red flags include challenging or resisting authority, overreacting to criticism of their behavior or job performance, and getting into arguments easily. When you observe these signs in someone, let a manager, supervisor, or your HR department know about it. You should understand that this is not ratting on a coworker, and you're not trying to get them fired. You're taking practical action to help keep your workplace peaceful and safe. You're also giving the person you're worried about a chance to get help with their issues, whatever they are, before they get into bigger trouble. What happens next is similar to the follow-up that would be made to a complaint about workplace bullying. Management or HR will begin a process of intervention with a disruptive person, and the end result will depend on how cooperative that person is. Again, it's their responsibility, not yours. There are occasions when a disruptive person is not a coworker. What should you do if they're a contractor, vendor, or client? No matter who they are, their disruptive behavior has the same impact as anyone else's. If someone from outside the company is causing trouble, be respectful and professional toward them, but let management know about your concerns so they can address the issue with the disruptive person's employer.
As we've discussed, bullying and other disruptive behaviors in the workplace are bad for people and bad for business. But you don't have to stand for it. There are ways to handle it and shut it down. Let's review.
A workplace bully uses words or actions to humiliate, degrade, or intimidate another person. This can have serious physical and emotional effects on both the victim and people who witness the bullying. You can help shut a bully down by documenting their behavior and bringing the issue to the attention of your manager or HR department. Other disruptive behavior in the workplace is not only disturbing, it can make you feel threatened and fearful and may lead to physical violence if nothing is done about it. Watch for warning signs and let management or HR know if someone seems to be headed toward being disruptive.
As an employee, you have the right to be free from bullying and disruptive behavior on the job. When you know how to address them, you can help to make your workplace a safer, healthier, and more enjoyable place for you and your coworkers.